Hello, everyone. I am Make Way for Cat.
And I am Kotzy Day, and this is the Kotzy and Cat Chat. Welcome!
Yay! Always take two. It's always the second take.
Always, yep. So now you guys know it took 2 times.
Again.
So, again, always, always, always. How are you today, Cat?
I am tired. I am going to sleep for 12 hours after this.
Me too. Probably not 12 hours because I have to get up to get kiddo ready for the day, but I wish. I wish.
Oh,
It's been a week.
yeah.
It's been a week,
Oh,
but
it certainly has.
I bet I'm
But you know
excited
what
for
else it
this.
is?
What is it?
It's spooky season!
Oh my gosh, yes! By the time this comes out, this is coming out October 1st, so we are
Yes.
stoked. Oh
Uh,
my
just
gosh.
so you know, I put out Halloween stuff. Actually, like after 4th of July, it's Halloween season for me. I am the kind of person that buys Halloween decor as home decor. Like,
I,
I
re-
am.
I remember seeing your dragon and a bunch of other stuff. You have like a dragon on your porch or something like that.
I do. A big old black. It's supposed to be like a garden dragon, but I don't have a garden, so he just kind of hangs out underneath my
Perfect.
mailbox.
Perfect. And you put like
Pretty
a
awesome.
collar on him, right?
I
So he's like your guard
it's
dragon.
it's a studded collar, and his name is Morty, as in like the French word, like mort
For
for
death.
death.
Yep.
Well, I have a giant cutout of Deathwing from World of Warcraft on my wall,
Oh,
and so
nice.
I kept wanting to call him Deathwing, and I'm like, I also call Deathwing Deathy. I'm like, oh, that's my
Oh,
Deathy. So like, I just kind of carried the death part over to the other
perfect.
dragon, so it just
Perfect.
made
I
sense.
love it. So we have
I
kind
should
of like
post
an
it.
interesting topic today, and it's can creepy be cozy? So I'm gonna let you share your thoughts on that first, and then I'll share mine after. You go first.
To quickly sum it up, hell yeah. I just I love spooky stuff. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
part of the reason we brought this one up is way back in January, I did an upcoming Cozy Games video, and I talked about a point and click psychological horror. It wasn't like grotesque horror, it was like more psychological horror. But
Yeah.
because there's some like darker themes in it, someone ranted in my comment section about how this isn't cozy. Cozy games are wholesome. And I beg to differ. Um,
Right.
the very the very first game I ever remember playing, here I'm gonna go age myself here, was LucasArts Maniac Mansion on the original Nintendo. Not Super
Yeah.
Nintendo, the OG.
Yep.
Uh, so that's
Yep.
how
Yep.
old I am. And it's a point and click game. It was designed to be like a parody on B movies, like B horror movies.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
I didn't learn until I was an adult that when Nintendo adapted it for the original Nintendo, that the devs had to rework a lot of it because it wasn't appropriate for children. And
Even
looking
though you were
back
a
on it,
child playing it.
well, that's the thing. There was still a lot of inappropriate stuff when I played it as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I can't imagine what they edited out.
Oh yeah. No, I have no clue. I never played that one, so that's not one I can really talk on. But I'm just thinking off the top of my head, Luigi's Mansion,
Oh, yeah.
like the entire Luigi's Mansion, there's 3 of them out, are all about like him ghost hunting and having like these haunted areas.
Yeah, but that's like cute spooky. Is it like spooky spooky? I played one of them, but the first boss was a spider and I was like, "No, thank you. I'm done with this."
Yeah, that's right. You can't do spiders. I forgot about that. No,
Well,
but like, I mean, for some, yeah, there's some jump scare stuff in there that gets me, but I still consider it like a cute, like cozy game, even though it's got
oh,
like that spooky
absolutely.
element to it. It's ghosts. Like there's ghosts everywhere, you know?
Hmm.
So but and like you were saying, like I agree with you. Cozy can be creepy, but I do think it's a balance. For me especially, and a lot of it has to do with aesthetics for me.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I can't do the full on blood and gore. Like, nope. I'm actually someone
Oh,
who's like
big
really
same. Big
sensitive.
same.
I'm really sensitive to horror. Like, I can't fill that into my brain like at any point. Otherwise, I will have like extremely vivid like nightmares with stuff. So
Yeah.
I have to be like really careful with like what I feed my brain. But I
Yeah, I
still
can't watch. Oh, sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you're good.
Oh, I can't watch horror movies, but
Mm-hmm.
I love just spooky video games and I like watching ghost hunting shows.
Right.
Um
Right.
and even like shows that are like, here's my ghost story and things like that. Like I find that stuff fascinating, but I can't watch horror movies. I'm with you. I don't do gore.
Yeah.
Um Nothing like super over the top,
Yeah.
but I love me a good murder mystery, which can be
Oh, for
creepy
sure.
sometimes.
Yeah, they can be
Mhm.
creepy sometimes. I think that's more like suspense and jump scare most of the time, though. With like murder
Yeah.
mysteries, they're not generally
Yeah.
like super creepy. But yeah, like even beyond all of that, like I definitely still think that creepy can be cozy. Um, but yeah, I guess we've both agreed on that. Now we go into like different themes. So there's like quite a few different like themes, and we can just like name off the themes and then maybe like dive in a little bit afterwards. What do you think about that?
Sounds good. Kotzy prepped the notes for this, and we have a lot of games in this list. We're probably not going to talk about all of them.
No, we can't.
Um,
We'd be on here for like
but
5 hours.
definitely let us know in the comments what your favorites of these categories are. But the first one is a category that I know is huge already, and it's one that's
Oh,
dear to me,
so
which is
big.
the witchy Sims.
Yes, there are so many like
Oh yeah,
already out and up and coming. Like it's actually insane how like that niche of like cozy games is exploding right now. It
oh
really,
yeah.
really is. Um, but I'm gonna jump in here and say like just a few like to name like off the top of the head. Little Witch in the Woods, Wildflowers, Moonstone, Critter Crops. Like those are just a few, and those are out already.
Yeah, and they're kind of on the lighthearted side.
Yeah, for
The
sure,
one
for
I'm
sure.
gonna throw my hat in the ring for is Witchwood, which is actually kind of dark, despite the fact that it's a storybook art style, which is almost like childlike.
Right.
But it's it's literally about a witch who makes a pact with a demon, and the
Mm.
demon requests the heads of certain individuals who
Oh,
are
okay.
nefarious. And so it's
Okay.
basically like puzzling out how to trap them and um,
Off them.
unalive. Yes,
Unalive them. I love
yes.
it.
So
Yeah.
it is super creepy and a little dark, but it's I think it was short too. I definitely played that one on my channel a long time ago. It was good though.
Yeah, that one's in my backlog. I haven't played that one as of yet. I was just taking a look at the description for it, and it's like Witchwood is a crafting adventure game set in a land of gothic fables and fairy tales. As the old witch of the woods,
Hmm.
explore a strange countryside, collect magic ingredients, brew sorceress spells, and pass judgment on a capricious cast of characters. Ooh, that's some good alliteration, good verb use. Not verb use, adjective use there. And I'm just looking at the dev and publisher are the same. They're Alien Trap, and I don't recognize any of the other games that they have on Steam. But it came out, it looks
Hmm.
like December 9th, 2021. So a few years ago.
Oh yeah. Oh wow,
But
that was like within the first 6 months of my channel. Man, I'm pretty
nice.
certain I played that for the first week. I didn't realize it was so long
Nice.
ago. Yeah. Oh, it's a good game.
Nice. Almost 3 full years now. Almost 3 full years.
Ah!
Yay!
Yay!
But yeah, this one is in my backlog. It like looks really intriguing. It looks like it's probably a good balance, but it's one of those ones that I just haven't picked up yet. So,
Hmm.
but it's definitely already in my library and in my backlog. I need to pick it up. Um, one of the ones like that's or one of the ones that I actually think like has a really good balance of like spooky vibes mixed with um the like the lighthearted, like cutesy everything is Critter Crops. I actually think they did a
Hmm.
fantastic job. I really like it. It's definitely not the best game out there. I'm not going to like hype it up or like do anything like that, but I love the art style. I love the spooky like characters that you get to come and move into your island, like in Mutter Island, and I love all of the creatures slash farm like like crop collection that's there. Like,
Yeah,
oh
it's got like a
man.
Pokemon style farming element, where the crops
Yeah,
become like
it's so
pets.
interesting. The pump
Yeah.
kitty, boo berries, like a bunch of different things. And it's just like really, really interesting. Um, it's an interesting concept. It takes a minute to get used to. It's definitely a little slow moving. Um, but I do think it's a lot of fun and I think it's relaxing too. I don't think it's like one that's like going to keep you up at night, but I think it's like a good one to kind of like wind down before bed. But
Mm.
the overall art and everything about it, it's really well done. I think it's really pretty. Like I think it's really pretty and I really enjoyed it. So,
Yeah, it's got that very hand-drawn style, which is
oh
nice.
yeah.
It could be a little plain for some players. I think it's
Mhm.
cute. I didn't realize it released already just in July. I played
Mhm.
the demo for it, and I was not sold on the demo, but the demo is way different than 1.0, so I imagine they've probably fixed a few things from the demo. I
Oh
might
yeah,
give this one a shot.
I was one of the backers on Kickstarter because I loved
Really?
the idea of it. Yeah. And so when it came out, I already had that Steam key um, ready and available. And I got to do some alpha and beta on it as well. And it's definitely come a
Oh, very
long
nice.
way. It's definitely come a long, long way. So I definitely encourage anybody like take another glance at it for sure. Maybe wait for a sale. I'm not sure if it's
Hmm.
quite worth like the $20 mark, but maybe like, $10, $12, something in there. For sure, for sure. But yep.
All right.
And now we're moving into like 100% your wheelhouse. 100% your
The
wheelhouse. This is like cat bread and butter here, guys.
So this is the main reason I created a second channel, Scaredy
Mhm.
Cat. If you haven't followed it, the link is in my description for my second channel.
I'll add it too.
Um,
We're good. It'll be there.
I played a game series once upon a long time ago, early on in my channel. I think it was Phantom Detectives, or I think it is called Phantom Detectives or Dark Side Detectives. Dark Side Detectives. Point and click adventure games, just like what I remember from my childhood, Maniac Mansion. And they did very poorly. And every time I tried to bring another one of these kinds of like dark themed games onto my channel, it doesn't do well. And so, not to mess up my algorithm, I started the channel Scaredy Cat. It's Make Way for Scares is the at.
Love
Um,
it.
Another game I played, I think this was actually before I started my channel. So two devs from LucasArts who were single-handedly responsible for Maniac Mansion, Ron Gilbert and Gary Winnick. They actually got together in recent years and developed a new game called Thimbleweed Park, which is like the
Ooh.
same super creepy point and click game like Maniac Mansion. It's a murder mystery. Things get weird. There's a foul-mouthed clown. Um, there's a
uh,
ghost in a hotel. Like,
uh. There's a foul mouthed
uh,
clown. I don't know.
yeah, like just like Maniac Mansion, this game does not take itself seriously at all. And I don't know if I even talked about Maniac Mansion, that it's a family of aliens who lives in this big old scary mansion, and they kidnap the protagonist's girlfriend to like take her brain out or something. And um, but one of the beautiful things about Maniac Mansion is it's not just a simple point and click game.
Mm-hmm.
They give you a cast of characters. Okay,
Yeah,
you play
like
the main
well
character.
written cast of characters. Yeah.
Oh, it's more than just that. Literally, when you load it up, you get the main character, and then they give you a cast of, I can't remember, like 8 or 10, and then you
Mm-hmm.
pick two more. And depending on who you've
Ah.
picked, there are like 12 different ways to beat the game depending on who you have in your party. Like, if you have Wendy, the writer, you can find the comet or like the meteor. The meteor, I think, is like the evil brain behind the whole thing. You can find the manuscript that the uh, meteor wrote and then publish it, and
Mm-hmm.
then he turns good and like everyone goes free. Like he doesn't even worry about stuff anymore. You can if you have Bernard, he's like the science guy. You can basically fix a clock radio uh,
Mm.
and summon the space police. Uh, so there's like multiple ways to play that game, and I have not seen that mechanic in another one since. And I think that game's been out since like 1990, at least on Nintendo. It was, I think, much earlier on the Commodore 64, I think, is where it first came out. Yeah, Maniac
Ooh,
Mansion is a great game. It's a great game.
gotcha.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
they did a murder mystery called Thimbleweed Park, and they actually have another game in development. It's a pixel art style game. It doesn't appear to be their classic point and click. It appears to be almost like a creepy cozy game. They call it like a cross between Link to the Past and Diablo. So I'm curious how that's supposed to go.
And what's
It's
the
not
name of that one?
they don't have a name for it.
They
If
don't
you
have a
go
name for
to
it.
no, I
No.
couldn't when I clicked on their it's Terrible Toy Box is their name. Ron Gilbert and Gary Winnick founded a new um game dev studio slash publishing house called Terrible
Mm-hmm.
Toy Box. And if you go on their website, you'll see that they have it unnamed. It's not listed on Steam yet, but it just says
Okay.
upcoming unnamed game. And there's a screenshot and a little description, but I'm looking forward
Gotcha.
to that.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I'll follow
Yeah.
these two forever.
Yeah, I only have a couple in my backlog that I still haven't touched. Like I have Fall of Porcupine and then I have Jenny LeClue. Like they're just again, one's just I that I haven't picked up yet, but
Uh,
those are two like more
Fall
murder mystery slash puzzles.
They are, and actually, if I remember correctly, Fall of Porcupine was on my wish list for a while. I think it's probably still on there. But when it came out, I played the demo for it, and it's like a hospital sim, right? Is that the one with the pigeon? Am I if I remember that one
Yes,
correctly?
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's that
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll like
It
read the
seems like
description here
yeah,
when
it's
you're
like a
done. I'll read the
chill
description.
it seems like a chill like hospital sim. You play a doctor. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess things get really spooky and crazy real fast at some point in the game. And I haven't
Yeah.
spoiled myself on exactly what happens, but it's definitely on the creepier side,
Well,
darker
there's a
side.
demo, so if you want to check it out with the demo, that's available.
And
But
demo's good.
it's okay. So you have done the demo. Nice.
Yeah.
So the description is a pigeon doctor in a small town, a broken healthcare system, a heartfelt narrative game. Fall of Porcupine tells an emotional story about a young doctor who struggles to find his place. Accompany Finley in a lovingly illustrated world and uncover the darkest secrets of Porcupine. And
Yeah.
it's got mostly positive reviews, which is one of the reasons I think I picked it up. Um, and I think I first heard about it from, if I'm not mistaken, Cozy K. I
Hmm.
think she played it and really enjoyed it. And then when I looked into it, I was like, that's something I would definitely be interested in. Like, and I love the fall aesthetic too. I mean, the
Yes.
entire game is like set in autumn, like fall setting, which I'm like, yeah,
Hmm.
let's get behind it. So yeah, that's definitely one I feel like I'll probably be playing over this spooky season, like maybe as a video or something
Absolutely.
like that, or try to pop it in for my Toss Up Tuesday. Hopefully, people will vote for it so I get to play it.
I
We'll
will.
see.
I love them. I love those kinds of games.
Cat's like, I got this.
I can't single-handedly win it for you, but we know
Just
how
create a
much your
bunch of
viewers like to
accounts.
tie it up.
No, that'd be terrible. Don't do that. Oh gosh. Well, and now that kind of covers like a few of the good murder mystery like puzzle solving ones. Then we have
Hmm.
Vampire, which has a
Woo.
few like one that's come out and then a couple that are up and coming. Um
Hmm.
the first one that is already out is Brocula, which has gotten not great reviews.
Hmm.
Um But and again, it's in my backlog. It's not something that I picked up yet. I watched a little bit of gameplay from Josh's Gaming Garden, and it intrigued me. Like the idea of it intrigued me. And then you've covered it in a couple of your like upcoming videos.
Yeah,
Um,
January and then again in like February or March because they delayed. Oh, it's a single dev, I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
It was delayed
Destroyer
a month or
Doggo.
two.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. But the premise is hilarious,
Yeah,
right?
the premise is
He's like
great.
asleep. He's asleep in his castle and someone drives their car into it and he wakes up and now he has to repair his castle, but like now he actually has to figure out how to make money to do that,
Yeah, because
which
he's
is
like massively
hilarious.
in debt. He's like massively in
Hmm.
debt. So the synopsis is embark on an enchanting journey as Brocula, a vampire awakening after centuries. Earn money through part-time jobs, explore the town, salvage your castle, and enhance your vampire skills. Unleash your dark reputation, amass fortunes, and shape your immortal legacy. Like it just sounds so over the top and I love
Oh
it
yeah.
so much. Like just the concept of it was so intriguing to me. Um but yeah, it does look like it's not spectacularly made. It definitely looks like it had room for improvement, but I don't think it'll be enough to like ruin my experience with it. I kind of like janky games
Hmm.
sometimes just because of the concept and like everything, but it'll depend on the writing. I think more than anything else for me.
Yeah,
Um,
the game loop
and and
also.
if it has game breaking bugs, that'll also be the other thing. Like it can't be so
Oh yeah.
clunky that the game constantly breaks. But yeah, overall, like I'm really intrigued by the concept, so I'm really looking forward to picking that one up this spooky season as well.
Oh,
But
speaking of spooky season and janky games, there was a game I played a while ago called, I literally just had it in my head and now I forgot it. Um, but it was so janky. And I couldn't beat it because I soft locked, it didn't open the last area. So I literally
no,
couldn't go there. Grimoire, no. It's not. I think it changed to Grimoire. Brookhaven. I think it was originally called Brookhaven,
Brookhaven,
and then they called
yes.
it Brookhaven Grimoire or something like
It
that.
is. It's Brookhaven Grimoire. This
Yeah.
is on my list for this season too, actually, and I totally skipped over it in my list of games. But yes, this is one. This is one that's in there too. It's definitely got mixed reviews as well, and I've heard that it
Yes.
breaks.
It breaks,
Like,
and like I remember, like the inventory management system was absolutely terrible. But I did get to marry a vampire, so about we're in the right category still.
good. Got to make sure we stay on theme.
Yeah, and I'm certain Brookhaven Grimoire is also a solo dev and also a girl. It
Yeah,
was
this
dev
one's a
by
little
a woman.
amethyst. Little
Hmm.
amethyst. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely got Stardew Valley themes, but like made dark. Like
Yeah,
it's like
it's
the
like
underside
Stardew
of
Valley with
Stardew
monsters.
Valley. Yeah, exactly. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
werewolves and vampires and stuff like that. Hmm.
Yep. 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 And then we have two upcoming ones, and I'll talk about Moonlight Peaks. That one's
Okay.
upcoming. I think 2025. Um,
Hmm.
and I'm so
No,
stoked for that one.
I
No,
think
is it
it's
not? Is it 2026? You're
2026.
right. It is
I think it's
2026.
2026
You
because
are.
I
You
think
are
I remember
correct.
seeing
I'm
it.
looking at it.
Yeah, I was like, "Whoa, 2026?"
That's so
Because
far
there's
out, and
also
it's because it got taken over by Marvelous and Xe. Like it was taken over by
right.
Marvelous, and I think they're putting a lot more into it than was originally anticipated, and
I
putting it
mean,
on more
Marvelous.
platforms.
Yeah. Oh,
What?
Marvelous and Exceed. That's the devs
Yeah,
who do Story of Seasons. So
yeah. Story of
expect this
Seasons
to
and
be AAA quality.
yep, 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 yep. Here's hoping. Like I am, and I think they're also like aiming for when the new console comes out too. Like they were like, we're gonna put this way out. We're gonna put this way out so that hopefully this ends up on the new console for
Oh
Nintendo
yeah.
instead of on the Switch, like the OG Switch, because they want it to, they want it to be definitely on a hopefully better running system, you know.
Hmm.
But
I don't think
and
we
then
have
you
long
have
to
another.
wait for Switch 2.
I'm hoping there's a lot more rumbling recently than there has been. So I'm hoping for this holiday season we get news. I'm hoping for this
Mm-hmm.
holiday season we get news.
Oh, I
Although
think
I
you
am scared of what that price point is going to look like.
will.
I'm so scared of what that price point is going to look like.
Yeah.
I've heard like 700 range USD.
Ooh.
Like some of the research I've been like seeing, like some of the numbers I've seen thrown around is like 700 USD. And I'm like, that is exorbitant. I'm going to be waiting until like it's been out a while before I touch that with a 10-foot pole. Like,
Yeah, you can get a
especially,
PC for a little
right?
more than that. Mm-hmm.
Right? You could build your own like decent PC build, like desktop build. Like what are they even think like that's just mind-boggling for me for a console, like a gaming console. Like just absolutely crazy pants. But yeah, and then there's another one that you were mentioning that's up and coming.
Yes, as soon as you said vampire, I was like, I've got one for you. Did it say a 2025 release date? It's called Vampire Rancher, and it's more simplified in far as the art style goes. It's pixel art, but it's more simplified than what Stardew Valleys is. But it's like
Hmm.
Stardew Valleys with vampires. I think it said something like grow or farm crops and humans kind of thing.
It did.
So you
Yeah, and
basically
it
do
is
your
2025.
farming. Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad to see it. I've been watching this one for a while. I've already seen that their like key art and stuff has been upgraded, hardcore upgraded. So,
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
I can't wait to see this one.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I would say that this is probably visually, at least to me, like a mixture between Graveyard Keeper and Stardew Valley. Like we were talking earlier, that it definitely feels like when you're looking through like the still shots and the trailer, like that it has some kind of like inspiration pulled from Graveyard Keeper with part of it, as well as Stardew Valley. But yes,
Oh
this
yeah,
is
you were saying
coming.
the
Go
the
ahead.
night shots in the town
Yes,
specifically.
the cellar and the night shots in the town.
Hmm.
For sure, for sure. And this one is by developed and published by Boris Pixel. And it looks to be coming out in 2025 is the goal, but there are no other games on Steam by this dev and publisher. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, the description is rancher by day, vampire by night. Manage your time and resources to restore your sleepy little town to its former glory, all while satisfying your vampire needs for blood. Oversee shops and saloons, farm crops and humans, and explore ancient vampiric ruins in the weird Wild West. Okay, so it's like Wild West theme. This is so
I
weird.
just love restore your sleepy little town, and then like half a sentence later, blood. Like
I
you got
know,
me. I'm
right?
sold. It's like earlier when you were reading one of the descriptions, I believe Fall of Porcupine, discover the town's dark secret. If that line is in any video game description, I'm like, put it in my cart now, please.
So like Ever After Falls, when
Yeah.
it's like there's something not quite right, or is there, or something like that. I forget what it does, but it has like
Hmm.
that line like right at the end of the description, which I don't have like a category to fit that one into, but I feel like that one kind of has like a creepy edge to it too. But I
I
didn't know
haven't
where to
played
put
enough
it.
Ever After Falls to get there. I'm
Yeah,
sure there is at some point.
I feel like it has like false world vibes. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
Or
you
like,
literally start the game by getting hit by a car,
yeah, it's true. It has a morbid beginning for sure.
which is how
Oh
you start Graveyard
gosh.
Keeper too, by the way.
Yes, it is. Which that's our next theme
Is
is
next.
zombie is Graveyard Keeper, which
Uh,
both of us absolutely love. I
10 out
love
of
Graveyard
10.
Keeper. So
10 out
good.
of 10. One of my top 5 games of all time.
I would definitely get it like probably for me probably between like an 8 to 9 out of 10 because it just got too complicated. Like it got overwrought, especially when you got the DLCs, which I love. I love them. But I do think it got a little overcomplicated and grindy. And it was hard to keep track of things unless you were playing it constantly. Like every day type of a thing. It was really, really
Oh,
easy
you
to
mean
like
like,
forget where you were at.
yeah, I was gonna say if you log off and don't play it for like a week and come back, you're like, I don't know where I was.
Yeah, you're completely lost. You're just completely lost. There's just so much going on, especially if you get the DLCs. There's so much
Uh,
going on.
and the tavern is absolutely broken. Once you get the tavern in, and it's a DLC. Once you get the tavern in, you just make money for days. Like you are good to go. Um, I didn't really like the latest one, the Better Save Soul. That one I think is probably the most
Uh,
complex. Uh,
Probably.
yeah. But
I
I
forget
also
what they
played that
were.
one at
Now I'm
the
gonna have to
end.
look it up.
Um, there's one that's like Stranger Things themed. There's one that's like something Crone, like Game of Thrones themed. But I can't remember which one is the zombie helpers and which one is the tavern, although I think those two may have been the same. Yeah,
So the different
I'm gonna
DLC are Stranger Sins, Game of
Stranger Sins.
Crone, and then
Mm-hmm.
Better Save Soul was the most recent one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know which one's which, but those are the three different DLC that have come out over time. Um, but yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. I never run out of things to do. It has endless replayability, I feel like. I'm definitely going to be picking this up and hoping that I can make it into a series like over this spooky season for sure, for sure.
Oh, I'm
But
definitely playing a brand new playthrough. Absolutely.
oh yeah, let's do it. Go team. High five. Internet high
Yeah, high
five.
five.
Boom. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to be picking up for sure, for sure. And then next up is like ghosty or spirit ones. So what are some of your favorite like ghost slash spirit ones?
Well, I'm looking at the list you have here. Love Ghosty, which is a cute matchmaking game. You have
Oh,
Cozy.
so
Oh,
cute.
Cozy Grove. Oh, I'll talk for days about Cozy Grove. And
Okay,
Spirit
you talk
Farer,
Cozy
which
Grove then.
it's either like sad or cute. I don't know if any of these are actually creepy. But Cozy Grove is very sad. It plays a lot like Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
It has like a 24-hour real world clock like Animal Crossing does.
Yeah.
Each day is different, but like on top of, like the decorating your town, um, well, I'd say planting, but it's actually just trees and bushes.
Yeah.
Flowers, there's flowers for days. And then bug catching, fishing. You actually you're on an island and you basically have these bear spirits who had very complicated lives and you kind of do quests for them and help
Mm-hmm.
them move on. And like each day you get a new quest from them and like progress their story. So
Ooh.
it's a bummer that you can't just sit down and play it all the way through. You have to either like skip your Switch forward if you're playing on
Right.
Switch, which I did. Um,
Right.
or just
And
yeah.
did you play the new like Netflix game one, the Cozy Grove Camp Spirit at all? It was a
No, I
mobile
didn't.
game. I did a little bit. And I never played the original, like the OG Cozy Grove. It's
Hmm.
very, very much the same. Like I enjoyed it a lot, but again, like I just the 24/7 like time frame for games, just like it dampens my gameplay. Like it usually like will sign the beginning of the end for any game for me because it just can't hold my interest. It just can't hold
Yeah.
my interest if I can't like continue on with the game in like concentrated sessions is what I want to call it. Yeah, concentrated sessions.
Hmm. They
Um
did have a DLC back in 2022 called New Neighbors, and it gives you like new bears with new stories. I never got it though because I kind of mainly do PC gaming now, and I wouldn't stream a game that's like the 24-hour clock.
oh yeah,
It's
no.
doesn't really make much sense.
Nope. Nope,
But
nope. It made the mobile, I will at least say, it made it really versatile like where you played it. You could do it anytime, anywhere, which I really
mhm.
enjoyed. And it was free if you have a Netflix subscription.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's something, to keep in mind too. But yeah, and then honestly, like I do feel like Spirit Tea has a little bit of a creepy tone to it. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Spirit Tea has a little bit of a creepy tone to it. And like the art is also has, I feel like, a little bit of an edge to it with like the different spirits, the
It is darker
storyline.
toned, the art style.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that one had a little bit more edge to it, like than a lot of the ones that we're mentioning. And I feel like Cozy Grove
Hmm.
fits in just because of the sad theme. Like it fits in with like the mourning. Like you kind of like mourn the spirits like as they go on and move on, and like the lives that they led and everything like that. But I feel like
Yeah.
Spirit Tea leans into more of like the darker art style. It has a little bit more creepy crawly like stuff in there. The spirits have a little bit more of like an edge to them with like the storyline and everything like that.
Hmm.
But I really love Spirit Tea. I'd love to do some more of it, honestly. And shout
Is
out
it?
to, I think it was Blade Goddess who made me think of this one, cuz I don't know if I would have put this in the creepy category, like the creepy cozy category, if she hadn't brought it up. So,
Mm. I remember playing the demo for it, and I liked it. Is it out yet? Did it
Spirit
come
Tea?
out?
Spirit Tea's been out since
Yeah.
November last year. Cat.
Nice. Nice.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this one's been out a while. It's out on Switch. It's out on PC, Game Pass, like Xbox. I think it's PS. Um,
Yeah, I have
yeah,
like
everything.
134 games on my wish list and they like fall through the cracks. It's just so hard to keep
Yeah.
track of them.
No, it's so true. I have 146, so I'm right there with you. Or is that 48? That's 48. It's 148 on my wish list. It just keeps growing. Like, the more I do research on upcoming games, like, the
Mm-hmm.
more I like watch other channels, especially I feel like I don't know where she finds all of her sourcing and everything like that, but the Cozy Gaming Club, Ellie from that, like from Cozy Gaming Club, she like finds the niche ones, like finds all the upcoming cozy games. And I'm like, where did you find this? Like, how did you do this? Man, she's just in the know. She's really in the know. She's who I go to a lot of the time for like research on who the like what the up and coming games are.
There's
For
a
sure, for
website
sure.
called releases.com that I use to find one little unknown ones. Um, but it's wild when you do those kinds of recaps of like the upcoming games because I kid you not, it must be just the curse of this this field where you do a video like that and literally the next day you find one that's like shadow dropping this game in a week. You're like,
Right?
no, don't do that to
Right.
me.
Right. No, for sure. I completely get that too. Yeah. Yep, yep. And then
Always,
okay,
always.
I have to bring up one that's like the ghost spirit theme that is so near and dear to my heart. I absolutely love it. And it
Oh, do
only fits
tell.
in because it's like ghosts and spirits. It's Spiritfarer. The
Oh,
most
I never played Spiritfarer,
oh,
but it looks so good.
oh,
But
it's so beautiful. It's
I think it
so
takes the
beautiful.
stories like Cozy Grove and like saddens them like up. Like I feel like the stories in Spiritfarer are much more dark and sad than they are in Cozy Grove, is what I mean to say.
Well, I think they get more in depth. I think they just get more
Yeah.
in depth. Like, and I feel like there's a lot more human aspect, like real human aspect to a lot of
Hmm.
these characters. And man, it is heart wrenching. It is gorgeous and beautiful and tears at your heartstrings. And I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I would say this one is for sure a 10 out of 10, but definitely go into it being prepared for a tearjerker. Definitely go
Hmm.
in prepared for a tearjerker. Also the cat saves everything. The cat is the comedic relief and I adore it. Like you
Oh,
should
that's
play it
awesome.
just because the cat's in it. You should play it
You
just
gotta
because of the
have.
cat.
I play most games because of the cat, but but it's nice when a really sad, um, like deep game has comic relief. You got to balance it out somewhere.
Yep. Yep, yep. And then next category is kind of like demonic themes,
Hmm.
which I'm not going to mention the one that just came out recently because we're going to be covering it later. But the other one that's on there, I think kind of fell flat for both of us, and that's Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah, it seemed like a very cozy game at first because you kind of have your own little um cult
Settlement, like your cult that you're
settlement.
building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the gameplay loop feels a little too uh intense for me,
Yeah.
like combat
Yeah.
wise. Like I
Yeah,
didn't
the
realize there
combat
would be
is
so
too
much
much for
combat.
me. The combat is
Mm-hmm.
definitely too much for me. And then I don't know, something about it, it was just unsettling for me. Like it never like felt right. Like it felt I don't know. I don't want to say I got the ick from it, but I did kind of. I don't know. I just it never like sat right with me like all the different like cult aspects of it. I don't know. It was just one of those ones that
Mm-hmm.
was just uncomfortable for me to play. And I
Mm-hmm.
really tried. Like I poured about I want to say 10 hours, 10 to 15 hours into it trying to like give it a go because it has such rave reviews on
Uh,
it.
I
But
didn't even make it that far.
I just couldn't. I just couldn't. And I eventually gave it up. And it's on my Switch, like it's gonna be there forever. But I don't know if I'll ever pick that one back up again. Don't know if I ever will. So
Mm.
sorry if anybody absolutely adores Cult of the Lamb. I'm so glad that you do. Just not the game for either of us. It seems like, for sure, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's Underworld. And let me say, the first one on that list, I love, and I 100%ed it. And it was just recently, it just came out not too long ago. It's Shokudo Underworld. Oh
I
my
haven't
gosh,
heard
I
of either of
love
these.
this. You haven't heard of either of these? No, you have heard of Crypt
Yeah.
Custodian because that
Have
one was
I?
suggested on your Discord. And I think you commented on it.
Oh, probably.
But Shokudo Underworld is you die and you start running this sushi shokudo, which I guess is like a little shop. I'm not 100% on like what it means. So if anybody knows, please leave a comment down below. I would love to know. But in a mysterious underworld, you start running your own little sushi shokudo, which isn't really your own. Like it's the god of the underworlds at first. But you are working to satisfy the appetite of your customers, collect suspicious ingredients from bizarre, fantastical creatures, and realize your dream of creating the legendary chawanmushi. Which I don't know what that is, but it sounds delicious. Like, I think it's like a cup with like just different ingredients in it or something like that. But it was so much fun, and I absolutely loved the artwork on it. The artwork
I'm
is
pulling it
like
up
kind
now.
of this like cartoon hand drawn style and like
Hmm.
graphic art, and it's so beautifully done, and it's so cute because all of the different like ingredients have like little faces or like little themes to them, and then all of the cooked dishes do as well. Like they have these little faces and such on them, and it's so cute and adorable, and it just has a really addictive gameplay loop if you like the restaurant like service ones. It's got a really addictive gameplay loop. It's a pretty short game. Like you can play this in probably like 6 to 8 hours, something like that, and 100% it, which is about what I did. But it was so much fun, and you get like there's a little gotcha machine where you can get extra money or you can get little new outfits, and I got all the new little outfits. It was so much fun. Like I highly encourage anyone to pick this one up. It's only $6 USD. Like it's only $6 USD, and it brought me so much joy, and it was so much fun. If anybody's interested in it, like in the description, but wants to see what it looks like first, like before you play it or before you buy it, go check out that video that I have. It's on there. It's fantastic. You should. I really hope you love it. I really hope you love it.
Okay,
Cannot
that
rave
art
about it
style
enough.
is too cute.
Isn't it just? I love it. It was so like just chef's kiss. Like every single aspect of it like was just really polished and well done. I feel like
Mm.
for
Hmm.
what a simple like cute like little game that it is, chef's kiss. They did an excellent job. And that is Miluku Inc. It looks like, and I think that's the publisher and the developer, and this is their only game that they've put out so far. And they actually left a comment, I think, on the video too, saying like thank you or something
Oh.
like that, which was really cute. I always love when that happens.
Hmm.
But and then the other one is Crypt Custodian, which I haven't played yet, but it's on my list for upcoming spooky season. I have it. I have it, but I'm planning on playing it, and I forget who was the one that brought it up. But you are playing a cat in a charming Metroidvania like underworld where you become the janitor of the underworld.
That's great.
And your name is Pluto. You're a mischievous cat who has died and is sentenced to be the Afterworld's janitor forever. Hang out with other doomed ghosts, battle beasts, and explore a vastly expansive landscape. So, it,
Overwhelmingly positive reviews.
yeah,
Wow.
fantastic reviews. Just came out August 27th. So,
Mm-hmm.
not long ago at all, right around a month. Right around a month. But
Yeah.
this looks like mostly developed and published by one person, Kyle Thompson. He has another one
Oh
called
yeah.
Sheepo, and then Islets. So he has two other games on here. And then Top Hat Studios was another publisher in conjunction with him, which I've heard of Top Hat. They have a bunch of different stuff on here. So, like, Ova Magica had a Top Hat as their publisher, Frog Gun, and a few other ones. But yeah. But yeah, this looks really fun, and I'm really excited for this one too. And
Oh
that will
yeah. It looks
definitely
cute.
either be streamed or video in the upcoming month, for sure, for sure. But yeah, and then we have like just like some other ones. Which one do you want to cover next?
Oh,
Which one do you want to go to
I
next?
I love me some good Eldritch horror. Now, um, you know which one I'm talking about. I also love a good fishing sim. And I played the demo for Dredge long, long before it came out, and
Yep.
I had the negative comment on it, so I never ended up playing it on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I still want to, but if I do, it'll have to be on Scaredy Cat. Um,
Yeah. Oh yeah. It would have to be. It would have to be.
it's definitely much darker
Mm-hmm.
than I think it seems at first.
Oh, it
Um,
seems pretty dark if you watch the trailer.
really? I just thought
Yes.
like, oh, it's like a spooky fishing game. Great. And then when I played the demo and some spooky stuff happened when I was out on the ocean, and I was like, "Oh, this game." And
Oh,
then
this game.
I've already watched a full playthrough of it. Gab Smolders has done it, and oh yeah, Eldritch Horror, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which shout out to Caro and Jojo Potato, my two Eldritch horrors in my subs. They call each other their Eldritch horrors. So shout out
That's
to you guys.
hilarious. And they've
Um,
had a couple DLCs already. They had the
yeah, well, a
Frozen
new one
one,
just
and
came
then they
out.
had Iron Rig.
Yeah,
Iron Rig.
Iron Rig just came out on the 15th of August. So a month and a half ago. Um, but yeah, I was debating getting this for so long because it almost looks too dark for me. Like, it almost looks too creepy for me. So I haven't played this one personally. I've heard great reviews, but I've heard like it gets really dark and scary and there's a lot
Dark
going
and
on.
scary
So,
part. The dark and scary part isn't what concerns me so much. Is there's like a couple areas you get to where things actually like physically attack your ship, and I'm like
mm,
that almost seems like too much pressure for a fishing sim for me.
yeah, like a little over the top, like too stressing, like pressure, too much pressure.
Yeah, it kind of tips the coat. Like, is this cozy? It kind of tips that scale a little bit.
Yeah, which I can completely understand. Completely can understand that. And then there's, so we're kind of like in a monster category. We're not like straight Eldritch horror. So I'll bring up kind of like one that I played not too long ago, I feel like. But it was Moonlighter. And that's more like
Mm-hmm.
dungeon crawling.
That one
And you
came out a
see,
long time ago.
yeah, that one came out a while ago. But I recently just picked it up because it was on fantastic sale on Switch and on Steam. It came out
Hmm.
on May 29th, 2018, if the Steam release date is correct, which sometimes, like it goes with the EA or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But it has mostly positive and very positive reviews
Hmm.
for recent or all time. But I really enjoyed it. Man, it was hard though. I had to take it off of normal and put it on easy mode for me to be able to enjoy it. It was very stressful for me at first, because I was just dying constantly. Like, and they and they even lessened the difficulty down from what is now like the hard mode or whatever. They wanted it to be even more difficult than what the normal level one is. But I really like it. I really want to pick it up again. Um but I definitely would put that one in more of a like I have to be ready to be stressed out category for that one. And it definitely has like a lot of different like little monsters and everything in there. Kind of like a spookier like backstory to it and everything. You're dungeon crawling. But yeah, it's really interesting and I really enjoy it. And I enjoy like the shopkeeping aspect to it too and the town
Hmm.
building. But yeah, I definitely wait for the sales on that one though. Wait for the sales on that one because I got it really cheap and it has really great sales. Like I've seen it probably on sale 3 or 4 times over the past couple of years. So
Oh,
definitely just
wow.
wait for a really good sale. But it's definitely
Yeah.
worth it. It's really really fun. If you enjoy a little bit of pressure on you for when
Yeah,
you're
I do remember it.
dungeon
I do
crawling.
remember it being really popular when it came out.
It's still really popular. I got
Oh
a lot
yeah.
of views on this one. Like I was surprised.
Really?
Yes, I got like comments and views and like I was very surprised. Like since it's been out, gosh, so that's 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Over 6 years now. I was really surprised. Someone like someone kind of took me to task though. They were like, "Really? For a game this old? This game isn't that old." I was like, "Well, like actually 6 years in game years is pretty old, but I'll give it to you."
It is. Yeah.
But it holds up. It holds up. It's really really good. I think that was where they got me. It's cuz I was like, "It's a game that holds up."
Yeah.
You're like, "You're making it sound ancient." No, it's not.
It's
Oh
not Super
gosh.
Nintendo, dude.
Yeah, it's not Super Nintendo, but it's also not like a recent game, like in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
It's about 6 years old, so. But I definitely encourage anyone, if you see it on sale, grab it. It's a lot of fun. And then we have some
I think
like
we can skip.
dystopian.
I'd say we
Oh, you want
skip through. Yeah, because I think if we want to talk Don't Starve Together, we can. It's down to number 4. You have a couple. Looks like you want to talk already. Um, we're gonna cover Raft in the next section anyway.
True. True, true, true.
Uh, I don't really want to talk about Chained Together. There really wasn't much to say on that one.
Yeah. I'll just say
This
like the
was 54
themes. We
minutes.
had some like world ending dystopian, and the ones we had on there was Eastward and World End Diner. We had survival, like cooperative, which was like don't starve together, which we'll talk about later. Same with Raft. Um,
Eastward is deceptively, uh,
yeah,
I wouldn't say deceptively cozy. Reverse that. It's
deceptively
deceptive.
creepy.
Maybe it is. No, maybe it is deceptively cozy because you look at it. It is a great art style. It's that beautiful pixel art.
Oh yeah.
And you get in the game and it feels cozy at first, and then you get to the first boss, and then you're like, "Uh-oh, where did I get
What?
myself into?" That
Yeah.
was
You start uncovering like all of the mysteries and everything, and you're like, what the what? Like, what is happening right now? Crazy.
Eastward is so near and dear to my heart because it was one of the first games I played on my channel.
Oh, love
And
it.
it is one of those games where I was like, "Oh, this looks great." And then I played it and that is exactly what I said at the first boss when it started to chase me. I was like, "What did I get myself into?" Because if there's ever a chase sequence, I'm like, "Cozy game? No. Chase sequences are not cozy."
I died like
Um,
5 times with the chase sequence.
but I still loved the game
Yeah,
so much.
same.
And then of course, one of the hardest fights in the entire game is like the second to last boss.
Hmm.
I won't say any spoilers, but it's that single hand combat with the other character,
Oh. Oh.
where you have to like mimic her moves.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Oh,
Ugh.
that was such
That's
a
a
tough
rough one.
fight.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we had like survival cooperative. And then we had other like, and then style, and I kind of mentioned Ever After Falls, but we don't have to cover that. We kind of did, and then Kinseed and Sugar Shack. Like I felt like Sugar Shack had a really like creepy vibe to it, even though it's not a creepy game in and of itself.
Huh.
Like at least for me, like the art style and like the format of it had like a
Okay.
creepier vibe of it to me. But I don't know if you ever played Sugar Shack.
I played the demo for it a while ago.
Gotcha. I mean, like it's the devil. Like the devil is the one who like that conscripts you into like running the
Oh,
Sugar
I
Shack.
I forgot about that part. I was like, well, it's just kind of like a maple farming sim. It's, it was all right. But I forgot that you had to deal with the devil at the beginning. That's
Well,
funny.
and the art
Yep.
style to me is so creepy. Like the faces for it, I'm like, oh my gosh! Like I couldn't look at them too long.
Okay.
But just to me at least, anyways. But moving on. What does cozy mean to you, Kat?
Okay, so I know I mentioned earlier in the podcast about the comments I got on my video about like cozy games are wholesome. And I beg to differ. I think that wholesome games are always cozy, but cozy games are not always wholesome.
Which I tend to agree.
Things, yeah, things that does not make a game cozy is like massive time constraints. If you it's like a puzzle game and you have like 30 seconds to complete a puzzle, no thank you. That is not cozy. That is
Yeah.
unnecessary pressure.
Yep.
Um, some forms of combat, I would say. Um, Honestly, Eastward, I'm surprised I found that game as cozy as I did because if I had just seen that kind of combat, dungeon crawling, actually
Yeah.
dungeons weren't that bad. It's the bosses that were
It's the
really,
bosses. That's the one. Like,
yeah,
yeah. And then
and the
like
chase
Cult of the
sequences.
Lamb. Cult of the Lamb, but
Mm-hmm.
like combat kind of ruined it for you
Yeah.
and me, I think, on that one too.
Oh, I was gonna say, so funnily enough, I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft again because obviously the new
Right.
expansion came out and it was super hyped and definitely worth the hype. And even a game like World of Warcraft, uh, maybe doesn't seem like a cozy game. It is an MMO, which talking to other people, ugh.
Yep,
Which I don't
gross.
really do. And
I don't
Blizzard
do
has implemented so
as
many
we sit here
things
on a
that
podcast talking to each other.
one person is different than an entire server.
It's true. It's true. Sorry,
But
I just
Blizzard
had to
has
say it.
implemented I feel it though. I feel it. But Blizzard has implemented a slew of changes that allow you to do group content but solo. Like they give you NPC
Mm,
characters to just kind of go with you so you don't have to worry about getting kicked from the group in a dungeon because it's been 2 years since you've actually healed on a character.
right.
Um, yeah, but there's like World of Warcraft has such a dichotomy because this week is Race to World First. The raid,
Mm,
the end game
okay.
stuff came out this week, and what happens is there's like several top guilds around the world. Two are in the EU, like the top three right now. Our two are in the
Yeah.
EU. That's Method and Echo, and then we have Liquid, who used to be Limit here in the US. They're based out of California.
Mm,
Um, and what they do is, as soon as an expansion goes live, they gear and they gear fast. So they're doing like the hardest dungeons. They are farming them back to back to back to back to back hours on end. And
right.
then when you get the raid release,
Mm-hmm.
they've been playing nearly 7 days straight. I think they're actually on day 8 now.
Oof.
They'll sleep and stuff, but they'll pull like 12, 16-hour days or more,
Right.
trying to down bosses as quickly as they can on the hardest difficulty. And
Nice.
Blizzard does achievements in game for World First, and that's kind of how this all started. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just become like the Super Bowl of World of Warcraft. So, of course, that's not cozy.
No.
But what
No.
a lot of times in WoW, you can play it as cozy as you want to. Like there's crafting stuff, which is a lot of fun. Engineering in particular is
Mm-hmm.
great in this
Mm-hmm.
expansion. Like I said, they made it so that dungeons can be done solo with
Right.
NPC groups.
Mm-hmm.
Super great. And one of the things I like doing is going back to old content and farming like achievements and reputations and getting mounts and pets and things like that. And
Right.
when you're like 2 expansions off, you can solo everything just fine. So you can go back to old raids that took 25 people to clear, and you can just solo it and get cool stuff. Um,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, one of the best things they implemented in the game was transmogs, which is any gear you get in the game, you can basically like paint it over your current armor. And because
Oh,
WoW
okay.
is 20, WoW is 20 years old. And
Yeah.
that means there's a lot of armor choices, and like half the time I spend coming up with new transmog outfits in game while I'm just
Just
hanging
you're just
around.
trying to fiend the right outfit. We're just trying to look the part. Look the way we
Yeah,
want. I
my
love
one
that.
main friend I play with, we joke that the real end game is transmog. So, yeah,
Of course it is.
WoW is cozy for me in
Yeah.
ways.
Adventuring is not about killing monsters. It's about looking good while you're killing monsters. That's
Oh,
actually a
hell yeah.
quote from He Who Fights with Monsters by Shirtaloon slash Travis Deverell. Literally, I've been re-listening to the audiobooks like while I'm doing like other stuff like that. Like just errands and chores and blah blah blah. And that just came up like yesterday or today, I think it was. And I'm
That's
just like,
perfect.
yes, it's on point for what we're talking about right now. Um,
Mhm.
and then like what cozy means to me, like I agree with a lot of your points. Like I don't want to do the time constraints, like puzzle time constraints and stuff like that. Like unless they're well balanced, like where it's not too stressful. Like there's a balance, but if they're like really hard and you have to work at them and like slam like you're slamming your head against it, then no, for sure not for me. Combat styles, like most combat, it doesn't bother me too much. Moonlighter was a little too much, and Cult of the Lamb was too much for me too. But most other ones like Bloomtown or a bunch of the other games that we play like Stardew Valley, that doesn't bother me at all. I'm totally fine. Um, and then pressure situations, yeah, the chases and things like yeah, Eastward. I died like 5, 6 times on that. Like I just couldn't get the right. I could not get the right, like past this one part. It was literally just this one part that was like infuriating for me, and I just got like real stubborn with it and like finally made it through. But yeah, I had to take a break. I had to take a break a couple times with that one. But like then there are ones like for me, Raft. I
Mhm.
love Raft, and it is so cozy to me because I play it on peaceful mode. Like I literally just play it on peaceful mode. Like, and then if you know anything about Raft, like you're literally living on a raft and like just picking up debris like that you find along the way, making things, building your raft bigger. You go fishing, you like forage on islands, blah blah blah. And you still have like meters for health and hydration and food, but they go down a lot more slowly on peaceful mode, and you won't get attacked by sharks or other animals unless you attack first. So definitely,
Survival mechanics.
yeah, it's a
That's a good
survival
point.
mechanic. Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
survival mechanic. It's not cozy if you have it on normal.
Yeah.
Although it is a really fun co-op. It is a really really fun co-op. Um, but if you play it on peaceful, oh man, it's really just like crafting. You're just crafting and exploring and building, and that's
Yeah. I
that's
watched
it.
Co-Carnage play a bunch of it way back when it
Mm-hmm.
first came out.
Yeah, it's one of my go-to when I need a game that's just gonna wind me down. Like I am so stressed and I need to just decompress. Raft is one of those ones that I'll go to because I could just endlessly play that and I feel like my brain relaxing every time I pick it up in peaceful mode. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I love when survival games give you the option to do peaceful mode.
Oh
Like
yeah,
or an
I was
easier mode.
literally just thinking that the 2 games we talked about are actually semi-hard games.
Yeah.
Um, but the devs give you a way to make it not so much to appeal to a wider fan base, which is
Yeah, which
smart.
is brilliant. Like it's super smart. Yeah. Super
It's
agree.
like games
But
starting to put accessibility options like arachnophobia mode in. Yes, that's
yes, what
actually
was that one?
something.
Grounded, right? Grounded
Yes.
was one of those
Mm-hmm.
survival ones. Yes, I couldn't play that one. I didn't
So
play
this
that one.
new World of Warcraft expansion has a large spider theme because like the main area is like a spider kingdom.
Oh, okay.
And they actually have an arachnophobia mode where it turns all the spiders into crabs.
Which is obviously what you play on. Which is
No, I
obviously what
don't
you play.
actually.
You
I've
don't
gotten so used.
really.
No, I've gotten so used to the spiders in World of Warcraft now that they don't bother me. There's a
It's
couple
just other games with spiders.
there's a couple models of spiders that creep me out. There's like a giant spider mount. It's like uh grossly expensive. The only reason you have it is because you have the
Okay.
money to spend on it. And when
Okay,
you're just
yeah.
sitting there in town trying to craft and all of a sudden someone walks by with that mount, it's like, ugh,
You're
gross.
like,
I hate
nope.
that thing.
Hard pass. Nope.
Yeah,
Nope,
and there
nope.
was one chain of quests where I was under the main spider city in like a
Hmm.
really condensed cave. And so when you're in a condensed cave, first of all, it's claustrophobic, and second of
Oh,
all,
yeah.
uh it zooms in on your character.
Oh,
And then you see the spiders on the ceiling, and I
I
was
know where you're
like,
going. Yep. You're like,
I'm not
mm,
a fan of this.
mm.
But I pulled through. I pulled through. I finished
Good
all the
job.
quests in there, and I'm like, if there's ever a daily quest there, I am never going back. Never again.
Forget that. Hard
But I'm
pass.
proud of myself for getting through it.
Good job. Yes, definitely golf claps for that. Claps to the
Golf
internet. For
claps.
sure, for sure. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't want to
Okay,
break people's ears. I
we're
mean,
gonna talk about our favorite creepy cozy games.
yes, 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 yes. And we kind of touched on, a couple of these already, but you go first because I don't know what your list is. You've seen my list, and we've kind of talked about a couple of them. But what's your list look like?
Well, you're playing one now, so talk about that one first. Bloomtown, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. It is fantastic. If none of you have picked up Bloomtown or have not seen it on my channel yet, go take a gander. It is so much fun. I honestly cannot rave about it enough. I love the art. I love the humor. It's so well done. That's all I can say about it. You are in a 1960s Americana kind of backdrop. You are playing Emily, and you and your brother, you're about 12 years old, and I think your brother is about 9 or 10 years old, are
Oh,
sent
you're
to
that young?
be, yeah, you're young.
Huh.
And you are sent to live with your grandma or grandpa for the summer in a place called Bloomtown. Now you very quickly find out that there is more to Bloomtown than meets the eye. So I'll read the little synopsis here real quick. Bloomtown, A Different Story is a narrative JRPG mixing turn-based combat, which I adore, monster taming, and social RPG set in a seemingly pleasant 1960s Americana world. Join Emily and her group of friends to save their cozy town from the demonic creatures that live in the hearts of its residents. So, like, you're going throughout this whole thing, you're meeting NPCs, and you're like, that person's a demon. That person's a demon. They've got to be a
Yeah,
demon, right?
I remember that from
It's
your stream.
so
Yep.
sus, and it's so much fun. This is from one of the same development groups from Graveyard Keeper and
Yes.
Bandletale. That's Lazy Bear Games. That's one of the developers, and you can
Hmm.
definitely see it in the polish and like the darker humor and a bunch of like the dialogue and everything like that, and the way it runs. The other developer is Different Sense Games, and then it's published by Twin Sails Interactive. This is fantastic. This came out on Tuesday, September 24th. So while we're recording it, just yesterday, but as of the day this comes out, October 1st, it was a week ago. So
Hmm.
it is so wonderful. And it's true. It's like creature collection because you can subdue the different demons that you're battling through like you have to like take all of them down. They all have to be like not subdued. It's like passed out or something like that. Incapacitated, that's the word I was searching for. And then you
Hmm.
can do it, or you have to have like taken out, all except for one, and then incapacitate that one to be able to subdue it. It's a lot of fun. I really want to play more. I'm so excited to play more. I think I'm probably going to get to on Friday. There's a poll up right now, and that'll be my third episode of it. I love the writing. There's a bunch of quests. You can take a break from like
Oh
all of
yeah.
like the demon battling, like the turn-based combat, to go and do it. You slap the demons, like these little shadows. Like you don't know which ones you're fighting at first. Like you slap them to initiate combat,
I forgot about that. So
or
I
they
played an
slap
hour of the
you.
demo.
It is so
Yeah.
good. Go
I
ahead.
played
Sorry,
about
you
an
can.
hour of the demo, but I won't have played this game for another like day or two, but I
Yep.
will have once this episode is out. But I forgot about that part where they left the
It's
demons.
hilarious. It's so funny. Like, and you slap chests open if they're like at, like chest height or whatever, they're on a pedestal, or you kick them open. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
just so funny. Like the humor in it is so well done. The characters are so well done. Like I am loving it so far and I cannot wait to play more. Hugo is a dog that you come across, a mystical corgi, immortal corgi. Um, and learning more of his backstory is really cool. So, but he's a little sus. Like you won't think he is at first, but he's a little sus until you learn a little
Oh,
bit more about his
really?
backstory. But it's just really, really cool. It's really well done, and it's definitely got creepy vibes, but it is also cozy. Like I could play this
Yeah,
all
it's
day and be totally
it's
fine.
like Stranger Things vibes, right?
Yes,
That
it's
kind of
definitely got
separate
Stranger
world.
Things, especially like the time frame that they put it in, like that 1960s. I
Mm-hmm.
know Stranger Things was more
That
like
retro.
80s. This is like 60s, and you can tell by like the pricing on things. Like things are like cents. They're not even over $1
Yeah.
USD or anything like that. So, definitely like a throwback to
Yeah.
the past. The theater ticket was like 19 cents, I think it was, to go to the theater and watch a movie. And you're like, what? I'm over here like paying like $14, $15. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. But highly recommend everyone give it a try. It is super super fun. If you don't like turn-based games, I understand. Like Cat, that's not your favorite thing. I understand.
It's not. But first of all, let's talk about polished pixel art because I am a sucker for very well done, polished, beautiful pixel art, and
Agreed.
Bloomtown has it in spades. And
Yes.
another thing that Bloomtown has that I have Bloomtown, so I'm gonna play it.
Right.
Um, is the exploration and like all
Yes.
the little nuances.
The
Um,
detail, the
the
attention to
crossword puzzles,
detail. Oh,
like finding the
yes.
newspapers to do the crossword puzzles,
Yes.
getting like little mini things like, oh, you have a gramophone in your bedroom that needs to be fixed. Where
Yeah,
do you
yeah, you
fit that
fix
in your
it.
day?
Right?
And it's a
Right?
clock. There's
Mhm.
no energy or anything like that. It's just based on time.
Mhm.
But
Yep,
it
yep.
rewards you for like exploring all these little things.
Yeah. And it has fishing, which I had to figure out, but after I figured out, I
Oh,
really
does it?
enjoyed it. It did. Yeah, it does. I figured out this last time. I could go on and on. I could rave about that all day. I love it. But let's go ahead and move on to one of your favorites. What's one of your
Uh,
favorites?
throw down for Graveyard Keeper, which is hilarious because it's the same
Oh,
dev.
yes. Yes.
It is
Graveyard Keeper is so good. You go. You
it is
go.
like the perfect mix of creepy and cozy. Um, it's nothing too like super overt horror. There is a lot of like crude dark humor and stuff like that too, and like
Oh, it
you do
edged
get.
it edged into almost too dark for me with a couple of the things.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like the actually eating, like the consumption of human
Oh yeah.
flesh, like that was
Yeah.
almost too far. That one gave me the ick really bad. So I never let, like, whenever I play, I never eat it, but I'll sell it. Make the
Yeah.
townspeople
Same.
unknowingly eat it. Uh,
Yeah. But
that was
to be
almost too far
fair,
for me.
it's technically the afterlife. It's not technically reality. Technically.
True.
Um.
True. Question mark.
But one of the things I love about it though is the graveyard keeping aspect. Um, like
Yes.
upgrading your graveyard and making it pretty. It's like, oh, now we're gonna do the marble sculptures instead of the stone
Oh yeah.
headstones, and we're gonna put the
Yep.
gorgeous white fence in instead of the decaying
Oh
uh,
yeah. The
iron one. Yeah,
columbarium like is fantastic. Yeah, I agree. And I also love like the upgrading down below too, like for the crafting and
Hmm.
everything like that. Oh man, it's just so good. It's such a solid game.
Yeah, and I like how they have like different areas for um like each each thing, right? You don't really get like a plot of farm to like decorate on your own. Like you've got the
Right.
hill that has the vineyards, you've got your farming plots, you've got your apiaries in another section. Like it's every
It's pretty
so
spread
they
out
do
and like
take that,
clear where things should be. Yeah.
yeah, which is nice. The DLCs, I didn't care for the most recent one. But it looks like Game of Thrones was the one where they added the main story, like the back story, not the main story, the
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
background story to all the characters.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
the other one, Stranger Sins. That's the one with the tavern, and
Yeah.
you like find these artifacts and relics to decorate your tavern with,
That was
which
such a good detail.
it's my I love like that DLC um, made the game like extra special for me,
Mhm.
just because like once you have the tavern open, it's a gold mine.
Oh yeah.
Getting gold in that game is so hard.
It's a slog unless you have that tavern.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, for sure. But it makes me
Yeah.
think like Traveler's Rest. I don't know why when you bring up the tavern when you're talking about the tavern. It's just Traveler's Rest. But yeah, it's I never played it without the DLCs. I think on Steam you can actually play it while turning off the DLCs if you prefer to try like the game by itself or replay the game by itself, like the OG
Uh,
game, or you can turn off like one or two of like the other ones if you just want to play with like one DLC. If I'm remembering correctly, I think you can do that on
yeah.
Steam, which I
I
think
think
is
I
really
might do
really
that for
cool.
my playthrough this coming month in
Oh,
October is turn off the DLCs because I
yeah,
know I'm not going to get far enough to
right.
do the tavern, but and I also don't want to deal with the whole donkey liberation quest line. That was kind of
Oh
annoying.
golly, that one was annoying. It's like one of the first ones that comes up too. But once it's
Yeah,
passed, it's
exactly.
fine. It's just like that first one. It's just like, ugh, gross, annoying, stupid. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, that's my feelings about the quest line. Afterwards, it's fine. It was just that one quest line. But and then another one. This one is like a multiplayer or single player. I absolutely adore is Don't Starve Together or Don't Starve or Don't Starve Together.
Mm-hmm.
I just recently discovered this one, like I want to say like 1 to 2 months ago. I did it on a
Oh,
multiplayer
really?
Monday. Yeah. With with Rack and Keely D was one of the ones who really enjoyed it. Like it was so good. Rack actually got like a server that we could play on all together and it was just a lot of fun. But that was the first time I discovered it. And it is so creepy, but it's so much fun. You're dying all the time, but like for some reason it's not
Yeah.
stressful. I don't know why. Like it's just fun.
See, I
Like
feel the opposite of that. I find it too stressful to play. My brother bought me
uh
a copy way back when it first came out, and I love the art style. It's got that like Tim Burton vibe.
oh yeah.
Um,
It's got
but
like
yeah.
edges. Like it's got edges to it for sure, for sure. It's a sharper style. But yeah, it's really good.
Hmm. But yeah, the survival mechanics were a little much. Does that one have like a sliding scale or something like different modes of survivability, or is it just
I don't recall. I would think so, but I don't know. For certain. If anybody knows, like Kilo D or Rack or whoever, like please let us know. Um
mm-hmm.
and down below because there's a lot of people who have played it a lot more than I have. Um, but yeah, I do really enjoy it. I do think it's a lot of fun. I like it. I think probably multiplayer. I don't know if I would like it as a single player. I'll also make that caveat because I play through it and it's just like a comedy of errors, like a comedy of crisis to me, and that's why it's like cozy and like enjoyable for me. Um, in multiplayer, I have not played it single player, so I can't actually like speak to that on that part. But yes, and then I want to say one that I just played today that just came out last week on the 18th. It'll be like almost 2 weeks by the time this comes out. Shine Hill. Shine Hill.
Ah, yes.
It's got like a little bit of a creepy edge to it. It's so much fun and it's so funny. I thought I was going to die laughing actually today in stream at one part. If you're curious, go check it out. But it was so good. You are playing an alien who has a bodysuit that comes to check out Earth, the little blue planet, or whatever the planet is.
That's hilarious.
And your job is just reconnaissance. Like you're just checking out the planet and you're reporting back to your race of aliens. And you crash land on the planet, so like it's a disaster right off. And just like my theory with it is this is actually a training ground, a alien like spy training ground, and everyone's an alien in disguise because no one sounds normal. But all of you think you're the only one. Like
That's
that's your like what's it called? Not directive, your instructions or whatever. But it
mm-hmm.
is so funny. It is so quirky. It's really cute. It is in early access right now. Um, but it was delightful to play, and I can't wait to play it again for sure, for sure. But it's really really good. It's got a little bit of a creepy edge, but not like too much. It's pretty cozy, honestly so far. There's some combat in it, but it's not terrible. Pretty simple. But yep, yep. Is that one of the ones that you're going to be looking at to play?
Possibly.
Yeah. Maybe. It's on the maybe. It's on,
Yeah,
it's
it's
on
on the
the
maybe.
perhaps backlog list.
Yeah, that's the issue. The backlog
Yeah.
list is so long.
Oh gosh, it's so long. And then like a couple of the others, we already kind of touched on them earlier, like Spiritfarer, Eastward. And then do you have any
hmm
other ones that are on your list for like favorites?
Uh, no, I think we covered pretty much all of them. But I
Yeah.
will say what Shine Hill is still early access to, right?
Yeah, that's I was saying it was still early access. Like it just came out not long ago and it is early access. And I think it will be for a while. I don't know what the roadmap for that one looks like at all. So cannot speak to it. But yeah.
Or, so I
You
think we're
got
gonna do a quick rundown of upcoming games in October.
Yeah, I think we're done with the creepy game chat. So now we can kind of look at what's up and coming this next month. So I didn't put these in order. I probably should have put them in
I just
chronological
noticed
order.
that.
I put them in alphabetical order. I didn't put them in chronological order. Whoopsie. Um,
Nice.
so we can just do it that way. I know one that will be coming out the day that this podcast comes out is Cozy Keep. And that one's kind of like I feel like a merchant one if I'm remembering correctly. The developers are
Yeah.
Unbossed Games, and the publisher is Tribal Storm and Poisky Productions. But I think it's kind
It's
of
like
like
a
a merchant
medieval
one.
store.
Yeah, yeah.
It's also early access as well.
Yeah, that one's going to be early access as well. So the description for this one is experience the daily life of a shopkeeper. So it is a shop. Okay, like medieval shop.
hmm
Clean and decorate the place, pay taxes, gather resources, and craft products that can be sold for maximum profits. Explore the world, hunt, and cultivate the land. Own the best shop in the region, and save your father from the wrath of the king. Oh, little backstory there that I didn't know about. So that's good to know.
Ooh.
But I don't know why, but the visual style is making me think of Ale and Tail, which is one I just kind of like played a demo for. And I think it
hmm
has a lot of bot uh not procedures, what am I trying to say? Graphics. What are the
Voxel?
no, the like the people and stuff like that. Like some of the packages like I don't remember what it's called right now, but yeah, you guys I hopefully you guys know what I mean. Like it has a lot of bot materials and stuff like that, it looks like.
They look like Minecraft characters, right?
Yeah, yeah, kind of like
Voxel.
voxel.
Like the
um
square.
that's I'm not looking for the style for the name, it's like assets, there we go.
Oh, I
It
see, I
has a
see.
lot of bot like assets, that's what I was trying to say.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. Okay.
But yeah, so that's October 1st. And then it looks like Garden of the Sea might
Next,
be the next one.
yep, October 3rd. This one is a chilled out life sim where you play, craft, and explore across magical islands. Build a house, grow a garden, nurture animals, adventure across the surrounding ocean, and make yourself at home. This is published and developed by Neat Corporation, slated for release on October 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like 1.0. It is not early access.
Gotcha. And this one was originally supposed to be VR, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's
It
coming in.
does look like it could have been.
I
Oh,
think
wait,
it's.
yeah.
I think it is coming out in a VR version as well as a like normal like playable version. I think it's coming out in
Yep,
both.
it's definitely first person perspective.
Yeah. So anybody who doesn't enjoy or gets kind of sick, motion sick with the first person, this might not be for you. But yeah, that's one I've been seeing, but I don't know if I'll pick that one up. The next one is one that you brought to my attention. This one's called Groon. And this one
Yeah,
is
I don't know if it's Grun or Grun,
I don't know either. I
but
think I would say Groon. I would say Groon since it's a U,
yeah. Well,
but
I downloaded the demo for this and
mhm.
I kind of like creeped myself out of actually playing it. I was gonna play it for Scaredy Cat. So it is a horror game, but it's a farming horror game. Well, gardening, I should say. A gardener gets hired for maintenance work over the weekend, a simple task, but strangely, some tools are missing. The owner of the garden isn't around, and their house is off limits. Perhaps new tools can be found in the mysterious town, or maybe some of the reserved townsfolk have seen them. And like the key art is a shovel on a mound of like dirt, and it kind of looks like there's blood buried there, but that could just be the weird shadows. But it's also first person perspective, which I wasn't terribly fond of, but like you get like the town is foggy and creepy, and characters just look creepy too.
Yeah, I would definitely say like the style, like the graphic style is definitely a little on the creepier side of things for sure, for sure. Um,
Hmm.
but I don't know if that's one I'll pick. That's I don't know if that's one I'll pick. But and then next up is October 9th. This one is Wimmel
Oh,
Academy. And
the when I saw this on your list, I like screamed out loud.
you were like, "Yes!"
I'm like starting to lose my voice here. Sorry.
Well, we're wrapping up. We'll be there soon. But this
Yeah.
one is live the
Did you
day to
play
day
this
life.
demo?
No, I haven't played it yet. No, I haven't played it yet. I'm excited about it though,
Oh,
especially since you're so stoked about it. Live the day to day life of a witch or wizard student. Wimmel Academy is a cozy time management dating simulation game set in a magic academy. From the first person perspective, you can study magic, develop hobbies, and befriend or romance classmates in this wholesome and enchanting world. And this one doesn't have like any big bad. I think this is just like kind of like a day to day, like witchy, like like sim, like little
yes.
romance, like life
So
sim.
I played this demo in this past June, the Steam Next Fest, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like one of my top favorites. It is there's not really a whole lot of like it's not you don't walk around. You just have like
Mm-hmm.
a map of the academy and like you have your morning slot. What are you gonna do with your morning slot? Well, you do have class, but you don't have to go to class if you don't want to. So you can go to class
Oh.
and maybe it's your herbology class and then you get
Mm-hmm.
like a +1 to your herbology sheets and things like that. So you could pick different things. You could do part-time work to get some money.
Mm-hmm.
Which I hope they retune the money making because I was broke the entire time I played the demo.
Oh no.
Um, I spent a lot of time in the library with a certain someone because I was like, we're romancing that guy. And
I guess he has glasses.
possibly, that's likely. I don't remember, but I would bet, would
I would bet if
absolutely
there's someone
bet
with glasses, that's usually who Cat goes for.
100% of the time, generally.
But yeah, yeah, that definitely doesn't look. It
That's so
definitely
good.
looks like one that I'm gonna be checking out for sure. I'm wondering
Yeah,
if
I
they'll
think
have
it
the
plays
demo when it comes out too, or if it'll just be the game, like a lot of them are.
like the demo's out now. I wonder if it'll stay out. Um, but yeah, it plays more like a narrative adventure than it
Mm-hmm.
does like you don't actually walk around. You just like go from scene to scene. You just
Right.
pick where you go.
Yeah. It sounds really interesting. I'll definitely keep like check it out. And if the demo is out right now, then I'll definitely go and play that demo first. But
Oh, so good. I can't wait.
and then next is one you're not so excited about. This one is Amber Isle. This is like a dinosaur like farming sim. It says, "Welcome to Amber Isle, a quaint and friendly village of prehistoric residents who are in need of a new shopkeep." So you're running a shop, okay? That's you.
That's
Surprise.
nice.
Craft and sell items, upkeep your shop, befriend your paleo folk neighbors, and customize the island to bring the village back to life, and welcome even more prehistoric pals. So that's interesting. I didn't know that you customize the island. That's pretty interesting. That's
Yeah,
nice.
so I and I mentioned this before we started recording that for the longest time I had Paleo Pines and Amber Isles basically both were like, oh, that's the same game. Like I
Right.
did not occur to me that they were two different games. And I
Right.
didn't really care for Paleo Pines so much, but Amber Island actually, after that description, sounds way better.
Interesting. Yeah. It
Hmm.
does look like it might be geared at a younger audience though, just like Paleo Pines
Yeah.
was after playing it. Um so we'll just have to see. We'll have to see how that gameplay goes. Um and you can actually buy it now. Like it's out for pre-sale, like pre-purchase right now, and it's 20% off. It's usually going to be, it looks like 24.99 USD, and right now it's 19.99 USD. So if that's one that you guys have been interested in, maybe catch the sale now, or wait for a future better sale. I don't know. Up to you guys. Up to you guys. But
Hmm.
and then let me
We've
see
got
what's after that.
October 11th, which I'm sure we've seen this one in the Wholesome Games Direct, which is
Oh,
Europa.
yes. Oh, I'm so stoked for
Hmm.
this one. It looks
Yeah,
gorgeous.
it's definitely like exploration.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
so on the moon of Europa, a lush terraformed paradise in Jupiter's shadow, an android named Z sets out in search of answers. Run,
Mhm.
glide, and fly across the landscape, solve mysteries in the ruins of a fallen utopia, and discover the story of the last human alive.
Yep. And so yeah, this is Europa is an actual moon of Jupiter. Um
Hmm.
and this is kind of like dystopian style, like it was colonized and had some kind of civilization on it. Um but you wake up and I'm guessing you have like no memory, so you're having to like solve the mystery of like what happened. It
Hmm.
looks like through exploration and finding everything and just yeah. It looks gorgeous though. Like the graphics on this. Oh man. I cannot wait.
Hmm.
I cannot wait. But this one I think probably it's going to be on Steam and Switch, but I will probably just play it on Switch. Or not Switch, on Steam. I probably won't get it on Switch because it looks like it might be one that's going to struggle on Switch.
Yeah, it's got like the atmosphere, like the settings look very Breath of the Wild-esque,
Mhm.
like cartoony
Mhm.
but detailed.
Mhm. Yep, I agree. So, and it seems like very open world, almost like semi open world in a lot of ways. So, yeah, I just worry that it's going to be too graphic heavy for the Switch and not run super great. But we'll have to see. We'll have
Hmm.
to see. And then after the 11th, there's a few that come out on the
23rd.
24th. Oh, there's the 23rd. Yeah. Why don't you do that one?
Oh, I don't know this one.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Shin-chan. Is that the cartoon character, Shin-chan?
Yeah, this is one
That's a blast from
Shinchan
the past.
and this one is like Shinchan in the cold town. But the previous one
Oh
was
yeah, it is.
Shinchan and me and the professor on summer break or something like that. So this is like
Oh
the
yeah.
follow up to that one.
Oh, so
Um
it's a point and click adventure,
mhm.
but Shin-chan himself is like a really crass, like child character.
Mhm.
Um, so if that's your jam, that might be up for up. And it looks like it takes place in like a very traditional Japanese setting. Like I think I mentioned, Shin-chan
Yeah.
is a Japanese anime.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm. But
yeah.
it definitely looks interesting. It's I think it's kind of more geared towards people who know like the anime
Oh
and
yeah,
everything.
but
It
it does look super cozy.
it looks super cozy, like very like old farming like town in Japan. Very old farming
Hmm.
like town in Japan. It looks really interesting. I would be really interested in looking at it. It's very cute. It just depends on what the price point is going to be. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And then we have like
Yeah.
three different ones that are coming out on the 24th. So that's a
Yes.
popular day. So you
So
start at
I'll
the
take
top because that's one of the
Cabernet.
one. Yeah, that's one of the ones that you brought up that you were excited about.
Yeah. So this is one of those. It's possibly cozy, but it's definitely horror. It's a
Mm-hmm.
2D narrative RPG set in the 19th century Eastern European inspired world with a modern twist. Guide
Mm-hmm.
Liza, a young vampire, in her new unlife among the unsuspecting townsfolk. Will you retain your humanity or descend further into the horror you have become? So it's a choices matter, um, basically life
Narrative
sim
kind of.
of sort.
Yeah.
It's a narrative life sim, and it definitely bridges on horror because it seems like you could go full chaos mode if you want
Full,
to.
yeah. I was gonna say it definitely seems like it's edging horror, or like is just
And it's
straight
got
horror if
that,
you want it to be.
yeah, it's got that like gorgeous storybook art style, which is I love seeing more and more games have this art style
Right.
nowadays.
It does look really nice. It does look really pretty. But is that
Yeah.
early access or is that for full release?
Um, it's full release.
Okay,
I
that's good to know.
I would be shocked if a point and click kind of game ever came out in early access.
That's
Oh, and
true.
it's
That's actually a
also,
good point.
yeah. Oh no, I read
But
that wrong. We're good.
okay,
We can
I
go
was
on
like,
to the
wait,
next
what?
one.
Well, the
I thought
next
it
one
said
is.
Annapurna, but it did not.
Oh, okay, gotcha. The next one coming out on the 24th as well, October 24th, is Orange Season. And this one has
Hmm.
had a lot of mixed review, mixed feelings on it. This is developed by Interfire Studios and published by Sedesco, but I believe it was the developer that changed hands. And people were really stoked and really excited about it at first, like with the first set of developers that it was with. I don't remember or know what that studio was. If anybody remembers, please leave me a comment down below. Um, but when it got handed off, there was actually a lot of negative because a lot of it got overhauled and redone.
Oh.
And I've seen some gameplay of the demo, and it definitely looks rough. And that was probably like a year and a half ago, I will admit. So I'm really hoping that it's changed like leaps and bounds since then. But
So is it coming out in 1.0? Is that what's going on?
no, it's coming out early access actually.
Oh, that's
Um
because it says release date April 21st, 2017.
that was
So
just for the
has this
demo, I
been
think.
released?
No, it hasn't been
Oh,
released. That
am I
was
on the
just the
demo?
demo. Yeah.
Okay.
Um but oh wait, is this it says buy Orange Season. You can actually already buy it and you can get the demo and everything like that. That's so weird
Yeah, it says April
because
21st of
that's
2017.
so weird. Yeah, it's maybe it is the full version comes out on the 24th. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
We
That
can
might have
double
been
check
it.
that and edit this
Yeah.
piece out if we need to.
I think we'll be all right. We'll find out together. We'll find out together, guys. But
All right, so
yeah, the
we've
next
got
one is
two left.
this one is
Orbound.
Orbound. Orbound is the other one that's on the 24th. How about this? I'll do Orbound and you do Plague London because that's the last one, isn't it? If
No,
we haven't
Fruit
touched
Bus
it yet.
is.
Which one? Oh, Fruit Bus.
There's no Plague London
Plague
doesn't have a
London.
release date on here.
Oh, whoops. I'll look that up one second. You go ahead and cover Orbound and then I'll look up Plague London. I forgot. Did I?
October 9th. Plague
Okay,
London is
October
October
9th. So
9th.
we skipped that one on accident. My bad. Forgot to
Well, you
put
can
a
do Plague
release
London
date on it.
now.
Do it. You
Yeah,
do
this is
Plague
one I
London.
sent you.
Yep, this is
Yeah.
one that you
So
pointed out.
it's an action adventure sim, and you're basically a body collector and graveyard keeper.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes
Mm-hmm.
place in London in 1665, pixel art graphics during the bubonic plague outbreak in overcrowded and polluted London. As a body collector, graveyard keeper, and family provider, avoid the disease while clearing the streets. Will you
Yep.
survive the outbreak or become another victim?
And you
Get a
get to wear a
cat!
plague mask,
Get a
which
cat.
is one of my
You
favorite
do.
things.
And it's not like super polished pixel art, but I like it. I like it enough.
Yeah, it looks a little
I'm
rough, but
curious what the
it's
gameplay loop is.
yeah, I'm really curious to see what it's gonna look like, what it's gonna do.
Oh, like the graveyard keeping aspect looks very graveyard keeper.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then we have Orbound, which we kind of already horse tried to close the gate after the horse was out, but yeah, this one is Orbound. It's journey on a quest to find the Ember Stone, lost in the depths of time. The king has tasked you to find it buried in the mountains. Dig deep and automate mining in the mountains before you. Craft, discover runes, and send precious metals and gems back to your kingdom. Grow, mind, and find the Emberstone, which is, I guess, like the entire goal of your mining enterprise that you're developing. And this is, again, October 24th. And this is developed and published by Emberforge, which I don't think it's the first game, at least on Steam. Like, this is the only one that's listed on there. And it looks really good. It looks really fun and interesting.
Mm.
So I think this is one that I'll probably pick up for sure. But, and then the last one that we have,
Fruit Bus, October
Fruit
28th.
Bus. I'm
It's
excited about this one.
it's a food truck. A journey of
Yep.
flavors and friendships awaits you in your cozy, customizable food truck. Forage
Mm-hmm.
for fresh ingredients to create your own menu, then feed tummies and souls with home-cooked meals. Change the world one apple at a time. I remember this demo being everywhere during Steam Next Fest. Like everybody played.
I think it was
I didn't play
Wholesome
it, but
Direct, wasn't
everyone
it?
played it. Was it Wholesome Direct?
Was it
I think it
Wholesome
was
Direct or
in
was it
Wholesome
Next
Direct.
Fest?
I think the demo was in Next Fest, but then it
Uh,
also showed up in the Direct.
Wholesome. Okay,
Uh, I
gotcha.
think I think those weeks were very close to each other.
They were. There was like it was like 2 weeks in between the two. I think it was very very close
Yeah,
together.
it's that week in June where all the video game stuff happens because E3
Oh
is no
yeah.
longer a thing. So we just use the time way anyway to announce all the games.
Yep. But and I think that wraps it up. You have anything else to add to the Can Creepy Be Cozy podcast today?
Creepy can be cozy, and in fact, it's my favorite cozy.
It's my favorite kind of cozy.
My- so
But
last year at Halloween, my nephew said to my sister, "Happy Aunt Cat Day,"
I love that
and it made
so
my whole
much.
world.
I
I
love
wasn't
that
even there.
so
He
much.
just said that to my sister, and I was like, she called me like immediately, and I was like, that's my jam.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. I love it. Oh man. Any costumes in the brew this year?
Uh, yeah, I'm gonna be the unhinged character from Bluey, Little Miss Muffin.
Ooh, nice. See, I don't go all out. Like I'll get stuff for kiddo, but which he's gonna be a black cat this year. He's gonna be a void. But I just have a kitsune mask that I just put on and I pop on and Hubs has one too.
Ooh.
And they're like different colors and we just go around like with the kitsune masks on while we take kiddo out for trick or treating. So we're like not doing nothing.
Well,
But
this is actually the most toned down I've been because like my brother and his kid and my
mhm.
sister and her kids, like all of us together get together
Mhm.
and do like a joint Halloween costume.
Oh, I
And so
love
like the
that.
first time we did this, we were all Zelda characters. The
Oh,
second time we did
yes.
this, we were all Mario characters. We
Mhm.
did Pokemon 2 years
Nice.
ago. Last year, it started to divide because their kids are getting older. So like half of
Mm,
half of us were Sonic characters and half of us were
right.
One Piece characters.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and this year we're at the year where like all the kids are old enough where they have very specific preferences about what they want to be, and
Right.
none
They
of
want to
them
be what they want to
match.
be.
So
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
all just kind of
That's fair. all over the place.
going one way or another. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll still do all the game, like the trick or treat and everything together, but you just won't be
Yeah.
one joint costume. Yeah. But,
Yeah, and
anyways,
therefore I'm not gonna go super crazy. I literally have a muffin shirt, and then I'm gonna wear gray pants, a gray sweater, and gray wolf ears, and pretty much call it a
nice.
day.
I love it. Well, that's all, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for the second episode of Cozy and Cat Chat. And yeah, I wish you all a cozy rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Happy spooky season. See you in the next one.
Bye, guys.